Alright, hello everyone, Adrenaluke here. A couple days ago I was racing without streaming, but I knew as soon as this race was over that it was one for the record books and dire need to be shared for all of you to see. So here we are at Nurburgring in a 20-car public lobby. Lots of opportunities to overtake here, which makes for a venue that seems to always bring out the best kind of action you can hope for. This was a thrill of a drive, and I'm positive it'll be a thrill for you to watch as we're about to go under the green flag here. And we're off! The green flag waves, engines roar, 20 cars heading into the same turn all at once. You never know what to expect in these public lobbies. We're gonna have to pray that we survive. Is everybody going to be careful? We're about to find out. And it looks like everyone made it through the first turn, but it's just begun. We got a lap to go where traffic is going to be very condensed. We almost go 3 wide here as the McLaren is going to try to pass around the outside of the Ferrari, but he falls back as he can't quite make it around. I was further on the outside going through turn 3. Now I'm going to go early on the inside in turn 4 here. The McLaren switches back around. Mercedes right on my rear bumper there as I didn't have as fast of an exit as he did. Lots of action right off the bat, but we've seemed to avoid any accidents so far. Mercedes thinking about making a move, going around the outside of me, but he falls back. I got to guard the inside of this next turn, trying to keep him behind me as much as I can. But look ahead of me, Porsche in the grass. Is he going to have a safe rejoin? It looks like he does. I'm giving him space, keeping around the outside. He almost merges over there, but we still make it through. Now the Porsche is going to shoot wide on the exit there, so we're going to do a switchback on him. Mercedes still close behind us. That was a good, almost an overtake, but the Porsche still manages to go past me on the exit there. I almost got the overtake done with that switchback as we go through the Schumacher S's here. Who's going to be faster? We got one Ferrari off the track there into the dirt. Lots of action on this first lap here, and me and this Mercedes are still going at it side by side through this turn. I come out on top once again, but that Mercedes, look at how close he is behind my bumper. He's going to go for it. Is he going to squeeze up the inside? And yes, he does right there, and he makes it by. And that puts me in a compromised position as now I'm going to get passed by more people, it looks like. We have someone to the side of me again, a McLaren to my right side. He's slowly making his way past me on the straight here as we have a drag race heading into the chicane here. Look behind me. This Porsche is going to go way into a lunge, and I end up off the track into the grass here. There's another McLaren off the track to the left there, but let's look at a slow motion replay. McLaren making his way back on the track there. Thank goodness he does not make any contact with us on that rejoin. Look behind us in the rear view. Another Lamborghini coming up. He's going to be getting a slipstream draft behind that McLaren. It's going to be speeding him up, so I'm hugging that McLaren as close as I can to make sure that that Lamborghini stays behind the McLaren and doesn't use the advantage of that slipstream to pass him. Trying to keep him behind both of us. We're making our way through turn 1 there, and we're still ahead of that Lamborghini, but the McLaren is pulling up ahead of us. We almost managed to make it through the full first lap without any damage, but unfortunately, because of that Porsche that dove through the chicane at the end of lap 1, we have sustained a little bit of damage that's going to stay slowing us down a tad bit every lap for the rest of these 17 minutes to go here. We started in P5 and we find ourselves in P10 at the beginning of lap 2 here, so we have 17 minutes to climb our way back up. Not the most successful first lap, but we got lots of fighting ahead of us, and I'm determined to climb my way back up there. Now notice how the McLaren's about 2 car lengths behind that Porsche, heading into the hairpin. It doesn't stop him from doing a big lunge! And we smile and wave as not only we pass him, but that Lamborghini behind us also makes his way right around him. Not a bright idea, was it? The best part about that is that the Porsche saw it coming too. He tried to leave the space on the inside. You saw him pull to the outside when he's noticed the McLaren doing the aggressive lunge up the inside. But the McLaren was just coming in so hot that he overshot the exit and merged into the Porsche on the outside on the way out of the turn. That's why you don't do a lunge from 2 car lengths back. Now the Porsche has sustained damage from that obviously, but you got to keep in mind that we also have damage on our car from the first lap before this one. And look at our tire pressures. We're noticing that some tires, our tires on the right side, have had over 28 PSI now. So that's not going to be good because we're still early on in the race and the tires are only going to get more hot from here on out. So we got damage on our car, and we got tires that are a little bit too hot. And it looks like right as I say that, our tires on the left side are also now above 28 PSI. We're picking up a strong draft behind the Porsche. I tried to make a move on the inside heading into the first hairpin. Didn't quite have enough momentum, so I had to fall back in line. But we're not going to give up, and we're going to be fighting this whole way and looking for any other opportunity to get around this Porsche ahead of us. You see the flame balls that shot out from the exhaust tips from the backfires of the downshifts of the Porsche in front of us as well. That's really cool attention to detail from ACC. Just wanted to throw that out, you know. Good appreciation there to attention of detail. A lot of stuff about ACC. It just does such a good job of making it feel very immersive, very realistic. Honestly, my favorite simulation out there. And if ACC is your favorite sim racing game, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel, because there's going to be a lot more content of ACC on the way, as it seems like I'm not really playing anything else these days. So my spotter warning me of a slow car ahead. I wonder what on earth that might be. I have so many questions. How on earth did you end up that far off the track in the S curves? What? The S curves are not even a heavy brake. You don't even touch the brakes there, so it's not like you just forgot to brake in a braking zone. Like, what? I'm so confused. I think the only thing that could have resulted in that was that he got someone maybe slamming him super hard that pushed his car that far off the track. I really don't know. Heading into lap 4, we find ourselves in P8. That's 2 positions higher than where we were 2 laps ago in 10th place. Looks like we're gaining on the Porsche up here. Heading into turn number 1. I'm going to try to go for it. All the room was there. I just didn't quite have the speed, but I'm still staying close behind him. I'm trying to have more patience through every turn and line up my exits to have a faster exit through every turn, and hopefully patience will pay off as I'm almost side by side through there, trying to cut it a little bit tighter through turn 4. He's still pulling away. This guy's putting up a pretty good fight, but we're not going to give up. We're still looking for any chance we can get to go around this guy. We've been battling with this Porsche ahead of us for a few laps now. There's no doubt with me chasing down this Porsche for multiple laps, he's got to be feeling pressure. Looking in his rearview mirror every time, and with me being that close behind him, his heart has to be beating fast. It's going to be hard for him to focus and be smooth through every turn. And here we go. He left the door open. I'm going around the inside. He has to make his way all around the outside. Shorter distances on my side. We're having a drag race now. Side by side, going in the straight line. The Porsche pulls ahead with massive acceleration, despite him being on the outside throughout the hairpin. And he's making his way faster around the Schumacher S's. And we're about to hear something pretty funny from Race Control here. Check this out. And the chase continues as I keep the pressure on Max D Racing ahead of me, staying real close behind his back bumper there, waiting for any chance I can get to go around him. And he looks like he's getting some slipstream draft behind another Porsche ahead of him on this back straight here. And that's going to really help them out. But are they going to go side by side through the chicane? It looks like they don't. They're smart. They fall into single file through the chicane, and I'm struggling to keep up as I'm not in as much of a slipstream range as Max D Racing is with that Porsche ahead of him. Going through the last hairpin, though, that Porsche on the far end ahead of us is going to go a little bit off the track. Now, that slowed him down, so then Max D Racing is going to pull to the side of him. Now, I'm getting a draft behind him because I know I'm going to get closer to him earlier. Then I get a draft behind Max D Racing, because I had to pick and choose who I'm going to catch up to first to get a draft from, and then get the draft from the faster car afterwards. Heading into the first hairpin, that one Porsche went wide to the side of me, but he's going to get the inside of this next turn. It's a game of mental chess, and you got to pick out which inside of which turn you want more. And he knows that this is going to be a double apex up here, so it actually hurt me more to go around the inside of the first turn, because now I have a more compromised position throughout all these turns next. And that series of turns, making me in a compromised position, has now made me fall back down to 9th place. So it would have been a good move, but that Porsche knew what he was doing, And I gotta applaud him for staying on the outside on turn 1, setting himself up to have a faster line throughout the next 3 turns. And that made me fall back even more. So I gotta go back to the drawing board here, and I gotta try to work my way back up yet again. Trying to make the inside, not quite enough room. The McLaren was squeezing me out, but I can try to make it through here. We're almost side by side. He's still ahead of me, so I gotta fall back to keep behind him through these S-curves. If you go side by side through these S-curves, it's gonna make you both go very slow. So I'm staying behind him. Not the best place to try to pass him here. Looks like they're going to go side by side up here. That might slow them both down. Give me a chance to catch up myself. The McLaren made it through. And now the battle is on between me and Hamster there. I pull up to the side of that Porsche, taking the inside, but the Porsche still powers through past me. And he's still making his way past. That Lamborghini that was behind me a few laps earlier, or maybe it was 1 lap earlier, I can't remember. That Lamborghini is back behind me again. Lots of us have similar pace here. Lots of close battles all around. The McLaren, fishtailing, lost control. He went sideways, and all of us make our way past that McLaren now. Lots of people losing control. I think that's, what, the 4th person that either crashed or spun in this race. We seem to be avoiding most of the major chaos. We've been only involved in 1 minor incident so far. Making our way past this Porsche, we had the momentum. We picked up enough slipstream. We try to make our way around the inside through the hairpin once again. This time we made it past him, and it actually worked. Brilliant stuff. Now watch your rearview mirror. He's going to try to go past us. He's going to be a little bit too aggressive, but he makes contact on the backside of our car. He fished out a little bit, but he re-stabilizes and keeps it under control. He tried to defend against that Lamborghini, but the Lamborghini made it past him through turn 4. Lots of action with everybody here. And this is when I'm using nitrous. Yeah, I installed nitrous in my car when the race officials weren't looking, so I can't get penalized for it. And so I'm just flying. It looks like that Mercedes ahead of me also installed nitrous. And coincidentally enough, we both ran out of our nitrous bottles at the same exact time. Isn't that just strange how that works? So now we find ourselves back up to P7. That's 2 positions down from where we started in the first lap. But if you remember, in the second lap, we were down to P10. So we are slowly climbing our way back up, and it's been going great as a recovery drive of us slowly but surely working our way back up the grid as this race goes on. We still got 7 minutes to go in the race. This guy in the Mercedes ahead of me, he puts up the best fight out of anyone here. I have to chase him down for a while, so I'm just going to fast forward for the rest of this lap until I catch right up behind him. We've been chasing this guy down for a full lap already. We've got 5.5 minutes of the race to go. He's got very similar pace to us, so we're going to have to work hard. Going into turn number 1, he's going a little bit wide there when we're already lining up for turn number 2. Once again, he's going a little bit wide. He knows we're close enough now, so he's going to have to go defensive. He's taking the inside early on turn 3. Now look at this! Oh, I tried to slow down. I couldn't quite slow down in time, so after I rear-ended him there, I let off, I slowed down. I was not going to pass him off of that. I wanted to make sure that I'm not going to pass him based off of contact. That's just the kind of character I have in racing. You're never going to catch me pass somebody off of contact like that. I didn't expect him to brake that hard and that early, so I was not in the best place there. I was trying to slow down, but I ended up rear-ending him. But that's that. Now, I'm still chasing him down. This guy, like I said, he puts up a great fight. He went a little bit wide there through the hairpin. I'm catching up a little bit more once again, but he's still pulling away. This guy's putting up one hell of a fight, and I'm going to have to work very hard. Now we got 4.5 minutes of the race to go. I'm trying to be smoother through every turn I can. If I notice him making even the slightest mistake, I'll try to capitalize on that. And I'm trying to be smoother through... look at this. He fishtailed a little bit right there. Are we going to be able to capitalize on that? Heading into the back straight. Looks like he's still pulling away. We're not quite in slipstream length yet. Or slipstream range. I don't know why I said slipstream length. I'm getting tired. This is a lot of work to commentate for this video, guys. Anyways, going through the chicane. It's going to be a little bit slow on the exit there, so I'm finally gaining on him, getting momentum. He fishtailed a little bit on the exit, too. So going into lap 9, I think, up here, I know it says lap 7, but it says lap 0 on the first lap, so that's always confusing with ACC. So this is lap 9. Now watch behind me going into turn number 1. Look at how far away that Lamborghini is in my rearview mirror, but that doesn't stop him from doing a giant dive bomb on me. And I love how my spotter has to point out that I got some damage on the right side of my car. Gee, I never would have guessed, you know? Thank God the spotter has to tell me, hey, you got some damage on the right side of your car. I mean, no, really? Now look ahead. Look what happens up here. Whoa. Let's see a replay of that. I'm really not sure what on earth happened there and why there was a car going horizontally across the track, but for the rest of this lap, I'm chasing down that Mercedes once again, so we're just going to fast forward until I catch back up again. So here we go. It's time for round 2. I wasn't able to catch him last lap, but I'm going to try again this lap. Now he goes a little bit wide on turn number 1 there, and thank God I didn't have some idiot pulling a big dive bomb on me. Now watch this. He goes wide on purpose on the exit there because he's lining it up for himself to have the inside on turn number 4, which is more important. So I go for the inside on turn number 3 there, but there's a bigger exit on turn number 4. So he lined that up on purpose, and once again I'm in a compromised position, and that makes the Honda there able to pass me as well. But I'm side by side next to the Honda, and I take the inside of this turn right here. Honda's still ahead of me, so I'm still in a compromised position. And so I'm on the outside line now. Honda goes way in front. Now I'm side by side with someone else. And now me and him are having a drag race. So once again, I find myself in a compromised position. Sector 1 of Nurburgring is definitely a spot where you have to prioritize which turns are more important to have the inside. So going wide on the first few turns of Sector 1 can actually benefit you and be in your favor. As you see, the McLaren there was able to slip past me as well. So I just lost 2 positions, and I wasn't able to overtake the Mercedes, all because they were prioritizing a better line all around, and I took the inside of some corners, but they were prioritizing the exit of more important, more crucial exits of different corners. So lots of strategy involved here, and I lost round 2 to that Mercedes big time. I definitely didn't come on top of round 2 this time, as I also had 2 other people overtake me. But is there going to be a round 3? We're about to enter the last lap of the race. You see the timer on the top of the screen is red. So that means we're entering in to the final lap. It's been a 20-minute race, and it's all coming down to this last lap. Right here, right now. Entering into the last lap of the race, I find myself in P7. That is still 2 positions back from where we started in the race. So I have 1 more lap to make this count. I've got to give it my all. This is the final chance I'm going to get. Now watch ahead when we go into turn 3 up here. We just made it through turn 2, but watch ahead at that Honda and the green Mercedes. Look at this. Going through turn 3, the Honda is going to barely nick the Mercedes. If you're right there, he barely nicks the Mercedes, but then the Honda is going to lose control from it. My goodness, what a big impact, and both of them are completely taken out. Let's see a replay. With those 2 unfortunately being taken out, that does make us up to P5, and this begins round 3 of the fight between me and that Mercedes ahead. This is my last chance to chase him down. I tried chasing him down 2 different laps earlier, and it didn't work, but here we go. Going through the hairpin, he's defending the inside very closely. He's eager to get back on the throttle, and then he fishtails, which allows me to pull up to the side of him. Heading into the S-curves, I have the inside, and I make the move, and I overtake him. I'm now in 4th place. Can I make this? Can I defend it all the way to the finish line on the final lap here? This is the last chance I have. This was the first time that I successfully overtook him, and I think what happened is me being so close behind him on that hairpin With me being right behind him throughout the whole hairpin, he probably was too eager to hit the gas pedal on the way out, and that caused him to lose control. It's been a fantastic final lap here. I moved up 3 positions in the final lap, went from P7 to P4. Final turn of the whole race right here. There's no way I can mess it up now. And there it is, taking home a P4 finish. What an up and down roller coaster for the whole duration of this race. If you like this content, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Race fast, race clean, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Game over.